everybody. Welcome back to Dialogue. I'm your host, Etoile Pinder, and I am talking with Stuart, Charlene, and Jared, who are the three of the amazing members of the National Coastal Awareness Committee, and we are talking about this month, April 2011, which is National Coastal Awareness Month. And before we actually get into any more of these threats and things, who are your other members? Because I don't think it's just the three of you, right? There's some other people on the committee?
We are a membership of both private and public sectors, of many of the government agencies, as well as many private citizens and businesses.
Right, so that will include Dolphin Encounters, the Bahamas National Trust, Ministry of Environment, Best Commission, Ministry of Health,
Environmental Health.
So we have a range of people, both public and private.
Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure. And for me, these initiatives are always the best ones in the Bahamas when we come together and we have the public, the private, and then we have citizens involved as well. You get true action sort of as a result. Okay, so on to threat number 5. I think we're already up there. Man, we're cruising. Habitat destruction. So that sounds very sort of ominous. What do we mean by habitat destruction?
Right. So when we think of coast, right? So all of us live on or near the coast. You know, the Bahamas is a coastal nation. Some of the islands are really skinny, like Eleuthera. So no matter where you live, you're near the coast. And our coast, we're talking about our beaches, rocky shores, coral reefs, seagrass, etc., and our wetlands. And so we're looking at how could we continue to develop as a country and have development. For development, you will have habitat destruction, but how can we do it in a way so that our ecosystems could still continue to function?
Right.
Right, so which is sustainable development. So the National Coastal Awareness Committee is chaired by the director of the Sustainable Development Unit at the Ministry of Tourism. So we're looking at how could we develop in a way that allows our ecosystems to work.
And so what are those things that we should be looking for? Because you see different countries, some of them are really, really strict. So in Costa Rica, like there's all these things that you have to do and you can't do this and you can't do that. What do we not do and what should we be doing in the Bahamas?
Right, we can look at preserving green spaces. So we already talked about establishing a system of national parks and areas that are set aside so that you don't have development. We could look at things like observing coastal setbacks. So we have regulations on the books, new legislation that talks about how far we should build from the coast. So you want to build your house on the beach, you don't need to be on the sand, you should be behind the dunes so that the dune could still continue to function.
And these just seem like really, I mean, to me, really basic sort of things. Is it just that it took us a little while to get there, or we didn't know that we should be doing these things? And now that we do know and the legislation's on the books, are people following these rules?
Well,
okay, so I should try not to ask 3 questions in one. Let's try that all over again.
There you go.
That's a hard one to answer. That's what, 2010 when that came online?
Yeah, that's last year.
And so how far back should we be? Is it like 40 feet, something along those lines? But big enough so that the dunes are protected.
It depends on the
protected
on the beach.
Ah,
I mean,
okay.
A different beach may have a different number, you know.
Okay.
What happens on the beach? Is it a turtle nesting site? Is there something else biologically or even historically significant on this beach that we want to protect?
Right.
And then, you know, I mean, so I'm assuming that's the way it'll go.
Okay, fantastic. But that's really good to know that we are sort of evolving in our legislation. Yeah. What else though? Because it's not just the beaches, there's other things too.
Simple things like boaters, you should anchor. If there are moorings available, then you should use a mooring. If not, then you should anchor in sand. Not on the reef.
Don't throw your anchor on the reef, right? Don't throw it on the seagrass.
There you go. There you go.
You used to buy anchors and they were grapple hooks meant to hook into the reef.
Yes.
So you actually anchored in the reef. It's not good.
No. So at least we've moved on from that. And so we've got that. What about, I mean, at least one of the things that I still hear about, especially maybe more in the Family Islands though, is there's, the swampland down the road and let's just go fill that in. And then, it'll be much better. We won't have the mosquitoes. It'll be, all these great things, but that's habitat destruction.
Absolutely. And so our mangroves, our wetlands are really important as fish nursery areas, particularly coastal wetlands. The inland wetlands are important to reduce flooding. So if you imagine they'll be like the lowest area on the land, like a bowl. So if it rains, the water will go into the wetland. So if you fill in our wetlands, you're more likely to have flooding events, right? So these areas are really important.
And we see
for
that going
us.
on in Nassau all the time. And
More and
rainy
more each
season
year.
coming up next month, and yeah,
Right. Sometimes you have to build near or around a wetland, so
Right.
we would suggest you go over it instead of through it. So traditionally, we'd push a road through and block off a creek, but now we can build a bridge. We have that technology, you know?
been around for a few years at this point, so
That's right.
that is no, but these are all great things, and I think it's great too when we can see that the government is. It's tough otherwise if you say, man, why shouldn't I build through it? Why shouldn't I fill it in if the government comes and they build a road through it? So now that the government is setting an example, which is so wonderful that we can all follow.
Right. Something that the individual person can do is, if you got the young people who want to go buy a lot to build their homes, instead of clear cutting everything, you think about where do I want to put my house, remove those trees and leave big trees on your property.
Yeah.
Right, so they could continue to be shade, it'll be cooler. Cut down on your AC bills, and then you'll
Exactly.
have birds in your yard, and it'll increase the overall experience.
No, definitely, and that is great. It is just the footprint of your house is the only thing you need to clear off. So these are all, I think, really great things. We've got overfishing and climate change, habitat destruction, and you see how bad my brain is going now at this point. We have got pollution, and what was the fifth thing we discussed?
Invasive species.
And invasive species. That's right, my lionfish. Fantastic.
right.
So to go along and to get all of this out, you're not just coming on my television show. You guys have tons of events that are going on. So start me off slow. Where are we starting right now? So this weekend coming up, it's the 10th, I think, maybe this weekend. Is that right? Is anything, 9th, 10th, anything going on this weekend?
Cat Island.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's a cleanup schedule for Cat Island. So on the Atlantic side of the island, you have a lot of problem with debris washing up from the ocean, with marine debris.
Ah.
So there's going to be a big cleanup on Cat Island, and so members of the Coastal Awareness Committee and our partners are flying in a group of people to help the locals on Cat Island to clean up that beach and think about how we could maintain it in the long term.
And so that idea is then, so you guys can do this sort of one-off. We're going to go to each family island at a different point, really make sure everybody understands what the important things are, and then they're on their own, like you were
Or
talking
maybe
about later.
it'll stimulate the islands to do it themselves.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
The point is, you know, the Cat Islanders did not put the garbage there. It
Right.
came in from other sources. But they're coming, we're trying to get them together as a community and says, this is going to be good for our community to remove this trash for ourselves and also for visitors.
Of course, there really is the double feature, and the wonderful owners here of A Stone's Throw Away, they have a great location too on Cat Island. So, you know, anybody going to Cat Island should go check them out as well, because it's a great location and you can enjoy a wonderfully clean beach after the National Coastal Awareness Committee has gone through. Okay, so beach cleanup, is it just happening in Cat Island, or are we having beach cleanups here in Nassau too the same day, or how does all that work?
On the 23rd, there's going to be a big harbor cleanup at Potter's Key in Nassau. But I just want to stick a pin at this point. It's actually a national initiative. And
Okay.
We've got, like, it's not just Nassau. There's cleanups going on all the other family islands. We have a calendar that the public can download.
Perfect, that's what I need, that's what I need.
One of the sites you can download it from is actually the Department of Marine Resources site. So
Okay.
if you go to bahamas.gov.bs and look for marine, or it's actually in the drop-down list, Department Marine Resources,
Perfect.
you'll see the Coastal Awareness logo, and just click on that link and you can download the calendar of events.
And you guys have a Facebook page too, I think, and I'm sure you have lots of information on there.
We have links to all the stuff we already have on the Facebook
On the
page.
Facebook page,
Yeah, along with
perfect.
photos and stuff.
But go ahead, like their page, check it out. That way, you know, they also know how many people are tracking what they're doing, and, you know, be a part of the community. Leave some comments if you have good ideas. I'm sure you're all receptive for next year,
Very happy.
National Coast Awareness 2012. Okay, so should I just go out one of the weekends and start cleaning up? Because, you know, are you hoping that schools will get together and go do beach cleanups, or really the idea is to go do the harbor cleanup on the 23rd?
Harbor cleanup's on the 23rd.
Yeah, but I mean,
And we'd love to have people join us because we
Okay.
have all the trucks and everything. And we have bags and gloves and rakes. and
Okay, so you're
we
well
have,
prepared.
Yeah, we have been cleaning up Malcolm Park for a few years. And
Yes.
we got that in a really nice, pristine state. And now the Football Association's taken that over, and they're putting a beach pitch there for
Oh.
international events, which really
Fantastic.
will showcase the Bahamas.
Oh, that's
to the
great.
world,
And it
so-
really is. It's amazing how really improved that particular spot is. So, but our school groups, are they doing anything? What are we doing for the young people in National Coastal Awareness Month, or what are they doing for us?
So this year, the young people can participate in the National Coastal Awareness School Competition. So this year, we have 3 levels of competition. We have a competition for grades 4 through 6, which is a Trash to Treasure competition. Now, the deadline is April 15th, so we need the entries to come in by then. And we've had some really cool stuff come in so far. Lots of things. I just picked up something from Andrus from the mailboat the other day, and we have some cool stuff coming in.
So how is that again on the Department of Marine Resources site or the Facebook page? How do I get all the information
on the
about this?
Facebook page? And if I try to Google it, if you Google it, you can get it.
Ah, perfect.
So it's right there.
Google, easy as can be.
There you go.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk some more about what all the amazing activities are that young people are involved in, as well as some of us not so young people, and how we can be a part of this National Coastal Awareness Month. So come back with us after the break.
He breaks you to bush cry.